Think to yourself for a second, what is an easy job? People might think of a YouTuber, a filmmaker, a magician, a photographer. Now take one more second and think of jobs that you wouldn't want to do because it's a lot of work. It's not easy. Maybe a rocket scientist, maybe a lawyer. It all depends on the personal preference. But when people say jobs are easy, they just see someone who's having fun, and to be honest, most likely a creator. Being a creator is not an easy fantasy job. After a bunch of research and interviews from different creators, I have found that it really is not easy. You're dealing with clients with an ignorant mindset, a bunch of technical issues, losing files which lead to reshoots, and slow processing times which ends up making you miss deadlines sometimes. Now don't get me wrong, after talking to some professionals in this industry, they seem to have a lot more inspirational stuff to say rather than to talk about the nitty-gritty. But from what I heard from these two, very much changed the way I thought about these jobs.
My name is Zach Bramlin. I am a filmmaker here in Toronto, Ontario. I work with a company called Blackout Media, and I run my own YouTube page. Did I ever have a point that I wanted to quit? Being a filmmaker, there's been a lot of challenges on the road, a lot of walls and hurdles that I've had to come across. The biggest one that I can think of off the top of my head is back in 2015. One of the biggest challenges that I can think of is back in 2015, I shot my first feature film labeled Dead Rush. And it was this first-person zombie apocalypse movie, and I had this really ambitious shoot in mind where we had booked 100 extras. They were all coming out to this one location, and I was so excited about it. And then the day before all the extras were gonna come, we were gonna shoot the biggest scene of the movie, the location dropped out. I got a phone call from the owner. He's like, look, I don't want all these people here. Can't have you here. And it was really, really destructive to not only my creative process, but also my motivation, because obviously you have something really big planned and then someone says you can't, it really limits you. And at that time, I remember I had broken down, I had walked up the street, I was in my bare feet, I had my producer to my left, my girlfriend to my right, and they're like, Zach, like, just chill out, it's all good. And I thought, like, this is it. Like, I'm done making the movie, I'm gonna run away in my socks up the street, and hopefully when I get back, the movie will be made. As I got clarity, I realized that probably was an unrealistic idea, not only to run up the street in my bare feet, but also that the movie was gonna get made without me. And I turned back, I came back, and we all sat down and talked about how we could problem solve. We ended up able to talk to the owner of the location, he was able to give it to us, and we were able to cater to his needs as well as cater to ours. So having these big challenges and big struggles in our lives, whether it's working on a project or whatever personal struggles you're going through, they happen for a reason. And plan B for me has always been a actually really great solution to plan A. And a lot of my favorite choices creatively have come from rethinking plan A and moving to plan B. Working with ignorant clients, working with difficult clients is something that you're going to come across as a creator. It's just part of the job, and it's not necessarily just clients, it's creators, it's other artists, it's even audience members, it's people who've reviewed your work. There is a sort of thick skin that you have to sort of wear when it comes to collaboration in any sort of regards. And for me, I've actually learned to harness something like negative feedback. So if I get a mean comment on a YouTube video, instead of looking at it and being like, oh man, like, I am unoriginal. Man, I do look like Peter McKinnon. I'm acting like him. I made a video about it, and that was probably one of the most successful videos I've done, and it was because it was a feeling that I channeled and put all that energy back out there, and people really responded with it. And when it comes to even working with clients or difficult people, understand that they know their product better than you do. And let's say you're working with Tim Hortons and you're doing a video for them and they don't like the way the shot works, but you think it's super artistic. At the end of the day, they know their brand better than you do, and you're only working with them as a collaborator. You're not the guy who's putting money into your own pocket. So know that they know their stuff, they've hired you, they're paying you for it, and find the right space in the room to contribute your ideas. And sometimes jobs can just be a paying job, But if you feel like it's more than that and you do want to give a little bit more than that because you're passionate about it, then speak up, talk about it. You feel like the person is a collaborative client, then reach out to them, and you never know what they might say.
My name is Lane Dorsey. I am 25 years old. I'm a freelance photographer here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Well, I'd be lying if I said every client is a blessing, but the likeliness of that is very nil, because just the way this industry works is that, you can't always control who your clientele is. You can mold it, but if somebody's going to pay you for photos, you're not going to say no. Chances are you're going to do it. So I've had to shoot with people that are less than desirable, in terms of, as I mentioned earlier, taking proofs, posting them out of context, taking my intellectual property and editing it themselves, thinking that, I can do what he does. And it's just all little nuances of just annoyances and whatnot. So fact of the matter is, you're gonna have to deal with poopy people, but you also deal with great people. You also deal with amazing artists and amazing talent who just want to grow, and it's great when you come across that, because that's what I'm in for. That's what I really love my job for, is just meeting the people that are hungry for growth, hungry for success, and they use me as a vehicle and as a catalyst of using my artwork, my images, to get them where they need to go. Like shooting album covers, magazines, headshots, all these things, and it's pretty cool when that happens. I've had a few cases where friends call me back years later being like, those headshots you shot for me got me a job here, and here, so thanks for nothing, you friggin' idiot.
Now, after talking to these two amazing individuals, there was something I learned, and hope you did too. No matter what the job is, there will be struggles and stresses. There is no avoiding it. But you have the fate in your hands to make it something you love. You have the choice to create your own merit. Have the drive to keep pushing forward and working on it, because staying negative really won't get you anything. So no matter if you work NASA or you're working in your mom's basement taking photos of people, you have the choice to make it stress-free and the job you always wanted.